Whata?
And g'day viewers, I'm Michael.
And I'm Janet, and welcome to this week's episode about the ultimate ship, relationships.
They're everywhere, be it with your spouse, your lover, your children, your mother, your father, your siblings, your partners, your in-laws.
Your outlaws, your colleagues, your friends, mates, cousins, acquaintances and neighbours. We come into this world alone. Well, factually, we come in through a mothership, and generally with a few helpers.
The beginnings of our lifelong relationships journey start here, and we need relationships from the get-go. They're the fundamental for us to survive.
Why then, if they're so vital to our existence, are relationships so damn tricky at times? We're going to give you some insights around this and some other shipping tools. So if you're keen to get on board and explore the ultimate of ships, relationships, listen up. Whata?
G'day, I'm Michael.
And I'm Janet, and welcome to this week's episode about the ultimate ship, relationships.
In our journey through life, the relationships that we forge with others play a crucial role in our overall happiness and well-being. Relationships, well, they're everywhere, right? Be it with your lover, children, mother, father, siblings, partners, in-laws.
Outlaws, colleagues, friends, mates, cousins, acquaintances, or neighbours. Building strong connections enriches our lives in profound ways. We come into this world alone. Well, factually, we come in through a mothership, and generally with helpers, including doctors, midwives, partners, friends, ambo drivers, police, and sometimes the unsuspecting taxi or Uber driver.
Unlike the little wildebeest born on the plains of Africa who stand up alone, albeit with some very wobbly attempts, but they're ready to run with the herd within 24 hours. But we humans are born totally helpless. We have some basic reflex instincts, but we will not survive if we're left alone.
We need relationships from the get-go. They are fundamental to our survival. We require others to nurture and protect us and to raise us to be, hopefully, responsible, self-reliant members of the human herd, not for 24 hours, but today, more like 21 years or longer. If they're so vital to our existence, why then are relationships so damn tricky at times?
Good question. Well, they're tricky because we each have our own set of core beliefs, our values, our expectations, our perceptions, issues, past traumas and ideals. And we've spoken about that, with the lenses of NLP as well in past podcasts. And we all carry with us all these things and expect others to match identically the old card game, like memory, all right? We look for people to mirror us. We want them to think, feel, believe, and act just like us.
Why? Because that makes us feel safe, happy, and accepted, like a reflection of ourselves. But guess what? That's not going to happen. Every single soul is an individual, a wonderful, fascinating, unique masterpiece. There is not another you in this world.
But what about a cloned you, Jenny?
Well, even the famous cloned sheep Dolly and her DNA mother have unique personalities because they too had different experiences and perceptions.
So if a mirror image is not possible, what formula do we need to experience great relationships?
We need to seek out people who bring out the best of us most of the time.
And that's a really good way to put it. Most of the time, not all the time.
We're human. As humans, we can't be bringing our best to the table all the time. We have to make room allow for mistakes and stuff-ups. The ups and downs in this life are the yin and yang that go towards making it so colourful, varied, abundant and interesting.
And the dark times shed light on what is good and what is right. The hard and messy times help us to appreciate the easy and fun times. And a great relationship is a reciprocity of respect and rights. The right to have your own identity and to share that identity with others. Letting others be themselves and letting you be yourself. You accept each other's differences, learn to adapt to each other in a mutually beneficial way.
I remember my dad read at our wedding all those years ago, coming up to 35 years ago, a beautiful piece on marriage from The Prophet by Persian poet Khalil Gibran. The last couple of lines kind of sum it up. And stand together, yet not two together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress tree grow not in each other's shadow. Great relationships allow you the space to be yourself.
Yeah, they do. They really do. And it was interesting. I was out with some old work friends last night, and they were asking me, we've been married nearly 35 years, and what's the secret to the great relationship that we've got? And I think really, the common threads of good relationships are built on trust, communication, and empathy. Trust is the cornerstone that holds it all together. It's about reliability, dependability, and keeping our promises. And when trust is established, relationships flourish. Open and honest communication is another essential component. Listening actively, understanding without judgment, and expressing our thoughts and emotions effectively create an atmosphere of understanding and connection. And communication is a two-way street, right, that strengthens bonds and resolves conflicts. And finally, empathy serves as the glue that binds relationships. So by putting ourselves in the shoes of others, we develop a deep understanding of their perspectives, needs, and emotions. We can't do it all the time, but if you try and try and try again, and there's a great Brené Brown YouTube on empathy. It's just a great one which explores the difference between sympathy and empathy. Worth a watch, really does. And it allows us to respond with kindness, compassion, and support, fostering a nurturing environment.
Let's look at this from a Nordically inspired metaphorical perspective. If you picture two people sitting together in a relationship rowboat, each with an oar, rowing in the same direction. Sometimes one rower is tired or pissed off and drops the oar, and the other rower needs to pick up the oar and row with both the oars to keep the relationship going. Then, when the other person recovers and is ready, they can pick up again and get rowing together. Trouble starts if the oar dropper does not re-pick up their oar and leaves the other rowing solo. Relationships aren't a solo event, they're a connection with yourself and a connection with others.
So should all relationships last forever?
No.
Wouldn't think so. Will all relationships last forever? Not usually. As we talked about in our Anatomy of Friendship podcast, people come into your life for a season, reason, or a lifetime.
Building great relationships is a continuous effort. It takes time, patience, a lot of patience sometimes, and commitment. Mm-hmm. It's an investment worth making as the rewards are immense. Prioritising our relationships means being present and attentive, valuing the people who matter to us and actively participating in their lives.
I think that's the right word, actively, not passively.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Not sitting on a screen just tapping. Pick up the phone and reach out to the people that matter to you. Go and see them.
No, absolutely. And just if I can use an example from recently, when we lost a couple of our friends in there, and I was pretty fragile at the time.
Yeah, you were.
But reaching out, so I was actively
time.
I was actually actively reaching out to all my friendship group to just tell them how much they meant to me.
Yeah, do it.
Yep.
We connect and learn and grow through our relationships. They're essential to ensuring that this life is as magical, colourful and interesting as possible. In the tapestry of life, the relationships we build weave together to create a vibrant and a meaningful existence.
If you'd like to take a deeper dive into the ultimate ship, which we call relationship, we're about to launch a free short webinar for everybody that's interested. So to find out more details about it, go to our website and look up the webinar section on our website.
Until next time, love and blessings.
See ya.